Welcome to week 11, set 1, SWYK 1. We're talking about the discriminant right now. I'll put myself here in the middle now. The discriminant, that's that b squared minus 4ac. I probably should zoom in on that. Right there. B squared minus 4ac, that's the part under the radical in the quadratic formula. It's the first step that I told you to use when making the quadratic formula. That actually has some very useful information for me. There are three different things that it could possibly be. It could possibly be that we're dealing with a positive number. And if we're dealing with a positive number, then we have a parabola. In this case, we know that we have a positive a value. That's why I drew all these pictures opening up. But they could just easily be opening down if we had a negative a value. So we've got this positive a value. It's opening up. If the discriminant is positive, then I know I will have two real solutions. And we use the word real. We know we're talking about x-intercepts. And so we have a situation like this. If it's a 0, we know it touches the x-axis one time and bounces off, similar to the song that Katy Perry sung about this very situation where a parabola comes down and bounces off the x-axis. You might be familiar with the song, I Kissed the X-Axis and Liked It. But that's, if you look at the lyrics, you'll actually see that's what she's talking about. Anyway, so we've got this situation, one real solution, where it bounces or ricochets off the axis. If we end up with a negative discriminant, then we are talking about something that completely misses the x-axis. There are no real solutions. And I don't care if you use 0 real solutions or if you actually write the word no real solutions. You can obviously see in this example that they use that phraseology. But if there are no real solutions, it does kick you or tell you that you're into, kick you into a different situation. It's telling you that you have two complex solutions. Remember, we talked about complex solutions being A plus or minus, or plus bi, a minus bi, something like that. But you would have two of them. You would have, and these are actually called complex conjugates. Complex, I forgot to write that down. Conjugates. U-G-A-T-E-S. Should have written that down. Wish I would have. Okay, complex conjugates. All right, so we can clearly see when we did this, for b squared minus 4 times a times c, we ended up with 16 minus 16, which is 0. 0 is in the one real solution situation, so that's the answer to this particular question. This information will be useful to you as we move forward. So, without further ado, let's go to question 2. We did the calculations here, and maybe I should just use this one. B squared minus, one of the things I need to remind you about is in order to find the discriminant, you have to have the quadratic set equal to 0. Clearly in this one, it was not set equal to 0. So the first thing we did was we moved that negative 16 over to the other side. And then we could do the b squared minus 4 times a times c. Be careful, especially when you have negatives that you're dealing with. Kids make mistakes when they type on a calculator. 64 minus 64 does again give me 0, which is back to the one real solution situation because we're touching the x-axis once. All right, let's see what happens in the next one. We have, it is set equal to 0. That's nice. And we can do the b squared minus 4ac, b squared minus 4 times a times c, giving me 49 minus 36 or 13. That's a positive number. And the positive number we said was the two real solution situation. Once again, when you pay attention to those questions, notice nobody asked you what they were. They asked how many there were. So you only needed to use the discriminant. You weren't busting out the whole quadratic formula, just the discriminant. Question 4, evaluate the discriminant. Okay, so we got it set equal to 0. That's nice. And so b squared minus 4 times a times c. 36 minus 40. A negative number. What does a negative number mean? A negative number for the discriminant means there is no real solutions. You notice that it says type a whole number. I'm going to guess that they meant for me to put a 0 right there. I should have put 0 real solutions, not no real solutions. Because if you put no real solutions, it's going to say, what? Anyway, so put the 0 in there. You'll be good. You'll be golden. Question 5. This is a quadratic, and we want to know how many x-intercepts it has. Never ask me what they are. It just says how many. So this is just a discriminant question. Even though they didn't say find the discriminant, you have to know that because they're asking how many only, that is not asking you for what they actually are. So b squared minus 4ac, 49 minus, gee whiz, that looks like the same thing. But guess what? Those are different numbers, right? The a and c are different. Anyway, so we do end up with a positive 13. That means there are 2 x-intercepts, very similar to the question we had before, but slightly different on the a and c. Without graphing, determine how many x-intercepts. Okay, once again, b squared minus 4ac. We ended up with positive 168, which is 2 real solutions. Once again, if that ends up being a 0, that's a 1 real solution or 1 x-intercept situation. If it's a negative number, no x-intercepts. Okay, that's it for SWYK number 1. Talk to you later. One last thing on this. This particular SWYK is the only SWYK for this particular lesson, so you'll go right to the assignment. I do have 2 more sets, and each one of those has 2 SWYKs in it and an assignment. So that's a little bit different this week. Also coming is, well, I probably already mentioned it in the intro video. Bye.